Hello everyone, it's been a while since I've uploaded anything. I've not been too well, and a couple of days ago I was changing some parts of the lighting around on my desk and managed to short circuit the adapter which powers the lighting. It caused the actual pin connector to melt, so now I'm waiting on a replacement to arrive. Until then, I sadly can't make any videos that involve a screen. That's because without my lighting, I've had to set my camera at a very high ISO which makes my desk super bright, even though it's dark, but also makes any screens super duper bright, to the point that the camera sees nothing but a white screen. So yeah, I'm sorry to all my dear subscribers as I won't be able to make my usual videos for about 1 or 2 weeks. In the meantime, I will be taking part in Inktober 2017. This is my first year taking part and it's very much a last minute decision. I want to keep this Inktober artwork as a whole sketchbook of its own, and since it's Sunday 6 PM when I finally decided to take part in Inktober, all the shops are closed, leaving me with one option: to make my own sketchbook. I've planned out how many pages I need. Next, I'm using a sketch pad I picked up from Pound World a while ago. It's 135 GSM weighted paper which seems to handle inks and light watercolouring quite well. I don't want to spend too much on this as it's the first time doing a challenge like this, so I don't think my artwork will be that great. But I do believe by taking part in Inktober I will hopefully improve, especially in traditional media which I haven't used in a long while. I'm working as quickly as I can to make the sketchbook as I don't have much time before the end of 1st October. To make things quicker with binding, I've used my sewing machine to sew down the middle of 2 pages and then hand sewn the rest together. I might do a tutorial on how I make my own notebooks and sketchbooks at a later date, but right now I just want to get this done really quick. I've sanded down the other 3 edges to make it look as professional as possible. First using a coarse sanding sponge, then using a finer sandpaper. Finally, using a rounded corner punch, I'm giving 2 of the corners a rounded edge. Now it's time to sort out which page is what. For now I'm using a pencil to mark out headers. I'll work on these title pages, the contents, rules and supplies pages later in the month, as I'm super restricted with time today. I'll also make a cover at the end of the month. I had a visual issue with the seam lines. I had rushed the sewing so the seams in between the pages weren't pretty. I covered them with silver washi tape. I wish I had plain white as it would have looked much better for an Inktober sketchbook, but this is all I have right now. Let's talk about the rules of Inktober. There's only 2 official. Use ink only and post it online. There are many variations that people have made to suit themselves, but these 2 are the official ones. Sadly, I'm a digital artist and I know I won't survive without a pencil, so I'm allowing myself to use a pencil to get a very quick base sketch. I'm going to refrain from using an eraser because I want to use a pencil only for the basic guideline, and I'm hoping by the end of the month I won't need to use a pencil as much. I took a daring plunge by choosing to use my Staedtler pigment brush liner on the first day of Inktober. I generally use this for lettering and I know a lot of artists avoid this type of brush for line art, but I still wanted to try drawing with it. I have to admit the first part of the drawing was difficult, but once I got used to the brush pen, it wasn't too bad. I used a white gel pen to separate the shading lines from the actual line art. I thought it looked good with a grey watercolour background and I wish I had stopped there. But now I had to go and ruin it by adding colour to the actual hair. Which brings me to another point. Is the use of colour allowed or not? I personally think it is as long as it's ink based. I'm using Wont ink tint sticks, which is basically powdered concentrated ink in stick form. I literally use it like it's a watercolour palette. Anyway, lesson learned on day 1. If it looks good already, don't add any more to it. The trigger word today was swift. This was the first thing that popped into my mind. It was the swift movement of hair. See you on day 2. Bye!